Jesus, I need a job. I can't keep living like this.
Hello, I'm Jesus, and as you know, God was my father and Mary my mother, and I was Mary's eldest child. Mary got married to Joseph and had several kids with him, and so I got many siblings. Joseph was just a simple carpenter there in Nazareth, and we were very poor. But he and Mary were God-fearing, and in this way we had a very happy family life. When I was still a teenager, Joseph died in an accident. It was a very painful experience for us as a family. And the little money Joseph left us didn't last that long. So as the eldest son in the house, my mother and siblings turned to me and asked me, Jesus, how are we going to live? Where are we going to find food and clothing? I was not skilled with my hands, so I was tempted to be anxious and worried. And I was wondering if I shouldn't borrow money from someone and start trading with sheep, as I saw somebody in Nazareth did. And he actually got quite rich. I even thought that if God would bless my work, my trading, I would even contribute to the synagogue. But I'd learned to talk to God, my Father, when I was tempted, and I didn't want to do anything without talking to Him first. And so I went to a quiet place and I said to Him, my Father, what can I do to provide food for my family and provide the things that they may need? Many thoughts flashed through my mind, but then I sensed that God was speaking right into my heart. Jesus, you should not worry. Look at the birds, how I care for all of them, and you are much more worth than all of them. He also told me that I shouldn't think like all the heathens do. They are so occupied with making a living that they never have time to speak to their Creator. And then He burned it in my heart. Jesus, you should focus on hearing my voice and doing my will, and I will take care of all the rest. I decided there and then to believe everything that my Father told me. And His will for me was to focus on what He wanted me to do and never to worry about food and clothing and making a living, and never allowing any thoughts of doubt and unbelief. After this, I went home with joy in my heart. Early the next morning, I watched these little birds and saw how they got out of their nests, and then they flew off and they find a little insect here, a little seed there to live from. And then it became so clear to me, I should just get out of my bed and do whatever my hands find to do. And then, just as God is leading these birds, He will lead me to find something to do and something to make a living from, and that I could sustain my family. I immediately got out of bed, and then I saw my mom. She was busy cleaning up, preparing the house. And I thought this is actually a very good point to start. And I started helping in the house, tidying up things, And while doing that, I saw a broken chair that one of the neighbors asked Joseph to fix it for him. I was not good in carpentry at all. But God worked in my heart to give it a try to fix it. So I did it, and after I was done, I took it to the neighbor. He looked at it and he said, "Well, this is not exactly how Joseph would have done this." And then he decided to pay me only half of what he has agreed with Joseph. When I heard this, I was tempted to be offended and discouraged and bitter. But then God reminded me, be thankful that I've been paid something and that I can learn something from this neighbor. And after all, what does it matter if I am paid little or much? If my Father in heaven promised me that He will take care of me as long as I'm doing His will. And His will for me was to overcome my pride and my bitterness and thoughts of self-pity and to be offended. And to be thankful instead that I could get rid of these human thoughts. It was not easy to get rid of these thoughts. I had to hold firm to His words, to what my Father said. And I had to resist these thoughts in the power of the Spirit till they had no influence on me any longer. And when I was no longer tempted, I was truly happy for what I could learn from this incident with the neighbor. And this is how I lived my whole youth time, finding God's will in the challenges of life and being saved from my human way of thinking. It wasn't God's plan for me and my family to get rich. I could, of course, easily opened up opportunities that I could get rich, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that was not His will for me. His will for me was to learn to be content in precisely how He has measured out life and things for me, and in the midst of that, to overcome my pride and jealousy and anger and all the things that's in a human being that makes us so unhappy. And when I was tempted, God came from His side and He judged my human thoughts, and I agreed with Him. And in this way, I pleased Him, and He in return gave me such a joy and peace in my heart that nobody could take from me, even if they gossiped about me. And I can truly say, I lacked nothing while I was on earth, in spite of being poor and being mocked and being criticized and unfairly treated. Nobody could take my joy, and I became the happiest person there in Nazareth. If you also surrender your whole life to God, only to do His will, and you focus on that, He will steer your life, and He will take care of all the other things. You will find opportunities to make a living, but you will become truly content and happy whether you have little or much. And you will be set free from all the worries that all human beings are occupied with.